I missed the 30-second to go warning, so I wasn't ready, hadn't got the video started, hadn't got the Garmin started, got them all done last minute, so just missed the start there, and then failed to clip in as I was all in a bit of a panic. So just trying to recover as much as I can, ready for the first corner, not let the front group get away too much. I can see Gary just ahead in his orange top and Hans in his red top just in front of these two, so I decided to sit in, recover a little bit and just sit on the back of those for a while until it's the right time to overtake. I noticed at this stage we've got a bit of a gap to Gary and Hans, so I start to get a bit concerned. The single track for a while now, quite hard to overtake, but I just need to make sure I find the right place to get past, because what I can't afford to do is to let that front group get away too far, not being able to close the gap. it was a bit of a pattern for the race now, quite a long section of twisty single track now. We tended to find back markers fairly much every lap on this bit. Some of them got out of the way really well, some of them were having their own race, so you didn't want to affect that too much. I think on this first lap the guy actually fell over, came off his bike, but he was very good. He pulled his bike out of the way and didn't hold us up at all. I felt I lost quite a bit of time through that single track, so I decided as soon as we got onto an area by the car park where it's wide enough, I'd try and get past and close in onto Hans and the group in front. As I can see, there's a bit of a gap there now. Having closed in on Hans now, I decided just to sit on the wheel, just recover a while after that hard effort, and we'll just speed up the video for a lap just to follow Hans, because we'll see a lot of that back end in this race. having sat on for best part of a lap, I know that single track piece is coming up again, and I'm generally slightly stronger than Hans through the technical sections, so I decided to put in a dig now and try and get through before the technical sections, create a bit of a gap, as I know Hans is usually stronger than me on the straights. If I can break a gap now, he'll have to work harder to catch that gap back up. So I sat on this guy through the twisty single track, not to get in the way and not to get caught up too close behind him in case he put a foot down. We're onto the open fields again now, so good time to get past and try and close the gaps to the groups in front. So the same routine now as the previous lap with hands. I know there's a bit of field now before we get onto the twisty single track, so trying to put in a dig and get past this guy, get into the single track on my own and hopefully not get held up. Having pulled a bit of a gap out on hands, he told me afterwards there was a fair gap until I got behind this group on that single track. Lost quite a bit of time there. Hands was back on the wheel, which meant then as soon as we got to a fast bit, I expected he would have gone past in the field, which I think is exactly what happens as we go across the top of this car park. Then it's just a case of sitting and try and hold his wheel for as long as I can. Speed up the video some more just to whiz through this next section while we follow hands until there's any more action. So just as we come to my normal overtaking spot, thinking get past ready for the single track, but we got a shout from behind where the leader of either the under-23s or the seniors was coming up. So we both moved out of the way, different ways, just to make it awkward for him. Let him through, but it meant it compromised me overtaking hands. So time to just sit in now through the twisty single track. Had I been thinking properly, I'd have realised how difficult it was to overtake on this last section before the start-finish line. And then as we go across the line, you can clearly see the 1 lap to go board, which I obviously missed, which meant I neither sprinted before this section on the last lap or realised until I saw the flag that we were due to finish, which may have cost me the 5th place, but it certainly cost me the attempt at sprinting with hands. we had a bit of a discussion along this top section as to whether there was another lap left or not, how many laps we'd done, and I said to Hans I was sure there was one more lap because we hadn't had a bell. So while I clearly seen the last lap board, I didn't hear a bell. I'm not sure if there was one. So I sat in and really ran this car park and down the next hills where I should have gone past, just to get the sprint in before we actually got to the twisty single track. As you can see, in a short while I didn't. I sat in and then missed the opportunity. So just as we come around this back marker, looking up the hill, I can see the checkered flag, realised that this is the last lap, decided I've got to try and go past Hans even though there's not much space. As expected, he didn't give me any room. Fair play, I wouldn't have given him any room either. Didn't want to clash handlebars, so just dropped in and decided just to take the place behind Hans. There was just no opportunity really to get past from that point onwards. But still, great racing with the mates, happy with the 6th place, and more importantly, loved the course and happy with how I raced it. So looking forward to the next race, but thanks Numplums for a great course.